Senator Mark Warner wants an independent group included in the defense spending bill. He puts it bluntly, telling me housing is not part of the core expertise of Pentagon leadership. Warner sent the same message directly to those officials because really, no one goes into the military to become an expert at overseeing housing. A letter from Senator Mark Warner to the Department of Defense.
To me, it's outrageous that we have treated so many of our military families so poorly.
I write today to strongly encourage the Department of Defense to convene a temporary housing advisory group of outside experts.
My feeling is neither has the DoD nor have the private companies moved fast enough
to assist you in determining the best long-term solutions for addressing pervasive health hazards in private military housing across the military services.
Careful, man!
Pervasive health hazards like lead paint, something Army wife Darlena Brown knows all too well. Tests revealed the toxin inside their Fort Benning home. The Browns now live in Northern Virginia, where every day they're reminded of the consequences of their time in base housing. Medical records show their young son has autism and intellectual and language impairments, likely due to high lead levels.
In our home, it's like we have a constant 4-year-old. He's almost 9, but it's as if he's 3 or 4.
What is this one? Monkey.
What is that? And I worry all the time about who would take care of him if something happened to my husband and I.
Worry is something Virginia Senator Mark Warner hears about a lot when it comes to housing on military bases. He's met with families who live in conditions like this. These are new photos families sent to WUSA9 since we started investigating this issue. They saw our story and wanted to share the pictures of theirs.
Do you think this is even possible to fix on a large scale?
I hope so.
To ensure that, he wants DoD to get together 10 to 15 independent experts to examine the military housing privatization initiative.
My concern is someone may be head of an installation as part of their career, but they never gain the level of expertise to go toe-to-toe with these private companies.
Warner is looking for recommendations that could strengthen accountability and offer perspectives on everything from environmental hazards to public health.
People who've got an expertise in housing, who could, in a sense, be that advocate for the military families, try to make sure they can point out where these companies may be taking advantage of these military families.
The senator's letter also urges DoD to renegotiate contracts with the private companies. When the program was first put in place in the late 90s, those contractors were given 50-year deals.
Listen, I was a business guy longer than I've been in politics, and the notion that you would grant anyone a 50-year lease, particularly in an area that's as important as housing. This isn't rocket science. This is basic management 101, and we need to bring it to these contracts.
What needs to happen so that we never get back here again?
We need to make sure that Congress keeps the eye on the chain of command. The chain of command has the powers to hold these private companies accountable. And frankly, if we don't see that level of accountability, I think some of these contracts need to be voided, and we need to bring in a replacement party.
As Warner waits for follow-through at the Browns' house, Darlena realizes this is going to take time to fix. But she hopes leaders understand the stakes are high.
Military readiness starts at home. You should be able to know that your family is safe and healthy. That should be the last thing you worry about when the soldier, when the service member leaves in the morning, leaves to go to work or deploy.
And right now, bills in both the House and Senate would give the Secretary of Defense the responsibility of rescinding the contracts if the housing companies don't hold up their end of the deals. Leslie?
You know, many people have been watching your series and they want to know, what can I do to help?
Well, there's a lot that they can do. They can ask their representatives and senators to support those bills and also support addressing these issues in the defense spending bill. That is going through the legislative process right now. We've put the numbers to call on our WUSA9 mobile